Hey you guys, I pulled some cards today from my Animal Tarot in order to see what Spirit wants to tell the collective today. And I'm feeling this is, while it shows a progression, some of you will resonate in the first section, some of you will resonate in the middle section, and some of you will resonate in the end section, okay? But this is also the progression of a twin flame journey anyway, so keep that in mind. So starting off, there are a group of twins who are still struggling in the early stages of the separation and the runner-chaser period of the journey and not knowing what to do. They're struggling in procrastination and not taking action for various reasons, to be honest. Of course, one aspect of it is that they're trying to come to grips with this connection, all of the changes going on in their lives, because, right, the twin flame journey turns our worlds inside out and upside down and makes us it's Spirit's way of turning us into goo inside the cocoon and reformulating us, making us see the world differently, making us think differently, and forces us to change our life in ways that we never thought that we would. So this is more than likely primarily divine masculines. It can also be divine feminines who fight the connection as well. And I actually want to throw one more caveat in here. You guys have heard me talk about there are different types of twin flames. So everyone experiences things a little bit differently depending on the type of twin flame you are. I also keep being bombarded this week with different versions of what the experience can be for even regular, well, I shouldn't even say regular twin flames, but for even the main group of twin flames that I refer to as guaranteed for union. There's a group of them who are out there recording videos saying you will never have a runner and chaser aspect to your journey if you're a true twin flame, and that's not true either. And they're coming from this perspective that their version of what they went through is the only way that exists. I'm going to be recording a twin flame talk about that. Spirit is guiding me to. But anyway, just keep in mind that everyone experiences it the way that you are meant to for your journey and for the lessons that you need to learn and your twin needs to learn and for the past life karma that needs to be healed and released, or karmic cycles. So just keep that in mind, okay? Everyone experiences what you need to for yourself. Don't let other people get into your head. But anyway, so like I was saying, divine masculines and divine feminines who fight the connection are going to be the ones who are primarily in this energy of struggling to find their way forward. And confusion can be causing this inaction. Needing to do more research and more planning can be causing this. But what Spirit is highlighting here is the Three of Swords and the Five of Pentacles, which is about emotional strife and struggle. And it even says on here for the Five of Pentacles, Dark Night of the Soul. So this is grief. This is struggle. This can be struggling financially. This could be some. I don't know why I can't think of the word. You guys have to be patient with me sometimes. Ever since my car accident, I have moments where I can't think of words or pronounce things properly. Worse than my normal. My chiropractor says it's a normal thing from the nervous system getting shaken up. But for some twins, either side, they are feeling trapped in karmic relationships because of the financial situations, whether it's financial dependency or just the way the finances are tied together. Because I have heard many stories from people in which their twins owns a business that is tied in with either the karmic partner or the karmic partner's family, and that makes it more complicated in trying to leave. So this can definitely be represented there. You know, notice how it says loss of home, that I'm feeling this is like a struggle with needing to leave their home, what has been their home, right? just like I was talking about, spirit puts us into the cocoon, turns us into goo to reformulate our lives and even the way that we view life and think of things and how to live and the meaning of life, all of it. That's where this dark night of the soul comes into play, because it's that. So the divine masculines and the divine feminines who fight it, they don't willingly go down this path. They are forced down this path by spirit. And honestly, the divine feminines are also at first, but they come to grips with it sooner usually. They kind of realize what's going on, and they start to take charge, and they start to work on doing the inner work and changing their lives in the ways that they are supposed to. Then there is a reason for that too. Real quick, I say real quickly, I thought I was going to do this whole reading in 10 minutes. I'm not going to be doing this reading in 10 minutes. It's going to be at least 2 videos. But one of the things that I channeled recently is that, actually, I can't really get into this until I do my quad video. I'm going to be doing a twin flame talk to explain about the twin flame quads more, which is the groups of 4 that are created, because this goes back to the different types of twin flames. So I will come back to this in that video. Look for that soon. But basically, the divine feminine is the original soul. Okay, that's what I was going to say. The divine feminine is the original soul, and then the divine masculine is created from her, from her original soul. And then when there are more quins, see what I'm talking about with the freaking pronunciation? When there are more twins created along the way, which is more soul ascension cycles and more opportunities of being a twin flame, they still stem from that original soul, which is the divine feminine. So the divine feminine is the original soul that is like the anchor. So this is why the divine feminine figures it out quicker, and why the divine feminine leads the connection. The divine feminines are always saying it's so unfair that I have to do all the work, and I have to take the lead, and I have to forgive and all of these things. But you have to understand that you are the older soul, and you have the most experience or the most advanced. And yes, it is on you. There always has to be a leader, and it is on the divine feminine because of being in that position and having that most experience. So anyway, so this is the divine masculines and the divine feminines who struggle through this process of just their world's being turned upside down. They're being thrust into this dark night of the soul. That understand that the dark night of the soul is forcing them to I'm sorry, I just lost my train of thought because I thought of multiple things at once. It's forcing them to, well, as I already said, see the world differently. But I want to clarify, the dark night of the soul, for me, when I speak of a dark night of the soul, I'm not talking about a one-night purge, okay? There's a lot of people who refer to the dark night of the soul, and they literally are referring to one night, one dark night. That is not how I explain it, okay? The dark night of the soul, if I am explaining that or discussing it, is a period of time, a phase of your life, weeks or months. For some, it's even years of basically, think of depression. Depression is not diagnosed without being established for weeks. So it's a period of your life for weeks or months of going through this rough period and these rough lessons and forcing you to see things differently. If it's a brief one night thing, it's a purge, okay? But this group, the twins at this stage, they're struggling through this process, and they're going through a lot of grieving and a lot of emotions, depression, all of the anxiety from this dark night of the soul that spirit is using to force them to see things differently. I know what I was going to say when I lost my train of thought. Spirit uses the dark night of the soul to force those people through the lessons they have to learn. So the divine feminine chooses to do the work and chooses to do the shadow work or do the healing or whatever it is. The divine masculines or the divine feminines who fight the connection, they don't choose to do the work. So spirit has to force them through the necessary experiences that make them do the work, that make them have these revelations when they're not trying to. Hold that thought. I feel like Spirit is using this to explain about the twin flame journey for those people who are newer to it and finding my page or something like that. I don't know. But I feel like Spirit is using this reading to also explain, not just to be a reading. But anyway, so like I was saying, for the Divine Feminine chooses to do the work. But the Divine Masculines and the small percentage of Divine Feminines who fight the connection, they don't choose to do the work. They don't recognize their roles in what's going on in their lives. They don't recognize the changes that they need to make. And so Spirit puts them through a dark night of the soul that forces them through the necessary experiences to learn those lessons, because they would not do it on their own. That so many times the Divine Feminine will say to me, what if my twin doesn't do the work? What if he chooses not to? Or what if he's oblivious and he doesn't understand what this is and he just doesn't do anything because he doesn't know? Trust me when I tell, and that's the majority. That's the majority of Divine Masculines, that they don't know any better, and they don't choose to do the work. But Spirit puts them through whatever they need to experience that is going to teach them the lessons, bring them through the necessary healing, awaken them, enlighten them, and bring all of the knowledge and awareness that they need in order to learn, grow, and evolve the way that they are meant to, even though they don't do it consciously. They do it unconsciously because of what Spirit brings them through to do it. So that's what's going on for this group. They're in the midst of all of that pandemonium and lessons and struggle that Spirit is putting them through in order to learn. We need to understand that even our higher selves and our spirit team, they do allow for us to go through difficult periods of time, because Earth is a teaching school. It is not, we don't come here to live blissful lives all the time. We come here to learn the necessary soul growth lessons and become enlightened. And then when we finish that process, we get to leave Earth and go somewhere else where it gets to be more blissful. But that's not what Earth is about. So the tough things that we go through are part of our necessary life processes. So anyway, moving on, finally. The Seven of Swords represents these karmic situations that are all connected to this, that this group is trying to figure out their way through, how to deal with it, how to get out of it. You know, it's that loss of home again. They're trying to figure out their way, working around the financial entanglements or struggles, or whatever it is. They have to, the devil is in the details. They have to figure out how to, they're being shown, look, this was a mistake. These are the lessons you're learning from this relationship. This is where you need to go. So now they're figuring out how do they change their life to move in the direction they want to move in. Notice how it says masks as well. This is important because Divine Feminines very frequently tend to look at the 3D and think that means the truth. To look at social media or just what they perceive to be happening in the 3D, and they think that means the Divine Masculine is happy in these other relationships or situations or whatever, and they don't want the Divine Feminine, they won't pursue the Divine Feminine, all of these things. That's not true. Appearances are deceiving. Social media is fake. Very few people really show you the truth without any masks on. Understand that. Let me use an example. I saw a post today on Facebook saying, how come the Divine Masculines get to be happy in these karmic relationships and the Divine Feminines always struggle and are unhappy? You don't make the mistake of believing that they're actually happy. People put up facades and they make things look better than what they are in order to get through. It's a survival technique, as well as if they're not ready to make the necessary changes yet, they're not going to show the world. They're going to let the world think one thing while other things are going on behind closed doors. So just keep that in mind, okay? Divine Feminines. Okay, we're going to set this aside now. Divine Feminines. Spirit wants you to know that you don't have anything to worry about. Slow and steady wins the race, right? This Three of Wands represents that you can have absolute 100% faith that everything will be okay and everything will come together. The Imagine, I always go back to this analogy. Many of you have heard me say it, but I'm going to say it again because it's the best way to explain it. You're standing on a dock. You see a ship out in the distance on the horizon headed towards the dock. It's your ship. You're going to be boarding that ship. It's either going to be your new home, you're going on vacation, whatever it is. You're waiting for that ship to arrive. Spirit is telling you that, that ship represents union, and it's that shore. Like, you can see it. You can see it and you can be that sure of it. You just have to be patient because it hasn't arrived at the dock yet. You have to be patient and allow for it to arrive at the dock in divine timing. I just saw posts of someone saying divine timing is a myth and we have all the control by going within and doing the inner work. But that's also not true. This is specifically said there are no spiritual or astrological things that are controlling or influencing your divine timing. That is not true. It's not true because I have experienced it differently, and I have seen the examples, and I have actually had Spirit communicate with me about this, which is, I believe those posts are pinned at the top of my Instagram profile, actually, where Spirit communicated to me how union is divinely timed around specific astrological events and portals as well, because the combination of unions occurring together is a powerful energetic event that occurs to humanity and Earth as well. So that's not true. Divine timing is partially connected to us doing the inner work, and it is also connected to the ways that Spirit is controlling things behind the scenes and guiding everyone to where they need to be, when they need to be there, etc., around certain astrological events, around certain portals, all of that stuff. It's all working together, both us with our free will and Spirit and soul will and everything all working together. But in any case, you can see the ship on the horizon. You can be 100% assured of its arrival, that you will achieve union. You just have to be patient and wait for it to happen exactly when and how it is meant to, okay? So don't give up. Keep persevering. Keep pushing through. Don't self-sabotage, okay? Hold on to your courage and your strength. Know that the Seven of Wands represents victory as well. You will have victory in this connection. You will achieve what you are working towards. You just have to... It also represents, this card also represents that it's a difficult journey. It's climbing Everest. It is Spirit, our own souls, forcing us to dig deep, to dig really deep, even when we are at our wits' ends and we have like you're struggling through a dry desert and there's no water, there's no oasis, and Spirit's like, dig deep and really tap into your inner strength and your inner resources and your faith and nourish yourself and keep persevering, keep pushing through. It is promised, it is assured that you will get there because we're the goats. I pulled this card and I was like, oh my God, we're the goats. We, the Twin Flame Collective, are the goats. We are the greatest of all time. of all relationships, the Twin Flames are the highest level spiritual contract and relationship that exists. And we are the most advanced spiritual warriors, and we are here to assist with ascension. We are the leaders of ascension and the front runners of ascension. We are creating new earth through our twin flame journeys and our unions, because we are raising the vibration of humanity and the planet. So we're the goats. Our souls agreed to be here to do this, to be of service to humanity at this time and in this way. So we will get there. And the goats are the ones that can climb the mountains too. I don't know, how the hell do they do that? Seriously. They can literally climb like the side of a mountain at the steepest angles and reach the top. We are the goats. I don't know why Spirit wanted to share that today. I think it's funny, but going to the actual meaning of the cards, the Six of Pentacles, I just said sex. Did you guys hear me? Well, we're going to have lots of sex too when that time comes. And along the way for some. So anyway, the Six of Pentacles is Spirit saying that you are going to reach that point where your twin is bringing you that reciprocal effort, and the gifts are going to be shared and bestowed on both of you, and you're going to be sharing that with each other as well. Have complete faith and trust in that and in getting there, okay? There's going to be another video. I can probably wrap up in that one. So the last thing I said was that Spirit wants you to know that your twin is going to make it to you. They are going to reach the summit along with you, and they are going to give you the effort that you deserve. That's something else I hear frequently. My twin's not prioritizing me. My twin isn't giving me the effort that I deserve. And I have felt that way myself as well at times in the past, until I realized that my twin was operating from where he was at in his level of healing and what he was dealing with in his life, and that when he was ready, he would be able to make more effort. His lack of effort was not because of not caring or not loving me or not wanting to put more effort. It was just where he was at in terms of his self-worth wounds being healed or not, and where he was at in his strength and being able to stand up to his karmic partner and karmic situation. And there's only so much time in the day. So what he can do was what he was capable of doing at the time. But I had to consciously come to those realizations and not hold that against him, and just allow for his growth and evolution to be what it needed to be. I'm not going to hold that against him and hold that against our connection. That's not what the connection is about. It's about unconditional love and acceptance and learning to embody that. So they will get there. Understand that they have their own process to get there too. It's not all about you. It's about you are both going through this process and this journey that is completely changing who you are from the inside out. They have to go through their process too. They're not going to be ready to come to you until they get through their side of the process as well. And we have no choice but to be patient with that. But they will give you the effort that you deserve. And you two will shower each other with gifts. So in the meantime, both of you need to actually, this is like a section, new section. So in the meantime, both of you need to focus. Hey, I can't see the giraffe's head. What the heck? No glare. Sorry, he was headless for a second. You both need to focus on your pentacles. Focus on putting a lot of hard work into your life purpose paths right now. That's going to look a little bit different for each of you. The divine masculines are rooted in the lower chakras. The divine feminines are rooted in the higher chakras, or at least that's where they're meant to be. I believe that the twin flame, the twin flames, let's say, instead of twin flame collective, they are meant to be a balance of the masculine anchoring in the 3D so that the feminine can function from the 5D and do the spiritual work. Because not all of the masculines awaken to the extent of doing higher level spiritual work. Some of them do, but not all of them. I believe that that's part of the balance. Just like there's a balance between masculine and feminine, there's also a balance between the masculines being rooted more in the 3D and the feminines being able to rise more into the 5D. So the feminines are guided to really follow their spiritual journeys, their spiritual processes, their spiritual awakenings, to open up their spiritual gifts is what I was trying to say, but for some reason not finding the words because my brain doesn't function quite the same at the moment. Hopefully that will go back to normal. But the feminines are on this journey that is opening up their spiritual gifts and abilities and expanding their healing abilities as well. And you are being guided to discover not just your, what you've been doing for work and career, but to discover your true life purposes. And some of that is going to be your creative life purposes, like the craftsmanship really points to that. Because that's your creative soul expression, and that in and of itself can be something you're very successful at. But this is also about your spiritual soul purposes and how you are meant to help others and humanity and be assistance of ascension. And so Spirit is guiding you through that and in mastering that. And at the same time, for the divine masculine, Spirit is guiding them through mastery of their crafts, whatever that may be. That might not be so spiritual related, but it should be more life purpose related. Or at the very least, working in a capacity that makes them happy. Even if it might not be 100% of like soul purpose, life purpose, what you're passionate about, what you are authentic soul expression, but it should still be work that they enjoy, that they're not, they're not dragging themselves to do something that they aren't happy in. You know what I'm saying? But it's work that they enjoy, that makes them feel proud, that makes them feel strong and masculine, that makes them feel like they can be breadwinners and support the feminine, because that is part of the majority of masculines' journey and process. It's them feeling that confidence and strength in their masculinity. Even if you and your twin have a balance in finances and career, that's still part of the masculinity and the mentality for them. It's not, yes, it can go to toxic degrees in the 3D, but in its healed state, that is still part of the masculinity, okay? And like I said, the masculines anchor the 3D world so that the feminines don't have to worry so much about that, and they can focus on using their spiritual gifts and abilities to be of service to humanity. And that's why there's that balance, okay? You could also think of the feminine means receiving. So the feminines are receiving all of the spiritual downloads and information and working with that versus the masculine. Okay, so now so yes, you both are being guided to focus on this, putting the work into doing all of this. But now I just have to look at this. We have the Knight of Pentacles, the Page of Wands, the Page of Pentacles, and the Knight of Wands. All of these knights and pages. Oh my gosh, I just realized I also played them out without even thinking about it with the black and white fur, brown and white fur. I don't know if that means anything or not, but I just put it down like that. If anyone channels anything about that, let me know, because I don't know why I did that. Maybe it'll come to me while I'm talking. But anyway, what struck me was the Knight Page. So there's definitely a group who is really in this energy right now. That is, they have learned the lessons. They've made it through the dark night of the soul. They've learned the lessons. And now they are no longer in that period and phase of the dark night of the soul, but they're not ready for union yet either. They're in the next phase, which is this period of doing the work on themselves, doing the inner work, doing the work on their career, life purpose, all of that, their pentacles. They're doing all of that work. Sorry, I felt compelled to bring sometimes I wonder what is going through my own head. I had to move that closer all of a sudden at that exact second. Maybe Spirit wanted it closer. Anyway, so yeah, this is the focus on the pentacles and the inner work and the healing the self-worth wounds and healing the root chakra wounds, healing the solar plexus wounds, building up their confidence and strength. This is not just divine masculines. This is divine feminines as well, okay? There's a huge group of divine feminines who they wait for a long time. They don't make any changes in their lives because they're waiting for their masculine. They don't want to make any changes until they get validation from their masculine that it's safe to do so. They feel like they need to make the decisions with their divine masculine. But that's not what Spirit wants for you. And that's not what Spirit wants for this journey. And taking those actions by waiting actually holds back the connection and holds back your journey. Because Spirit doesn't want you waiting. Spirit wants you confidently going down your path, following your life purpose, making the decisions that you need to make for yourself, building and creating your own stability and abundance financially. But abundance doesn't mean wealth. Let's keep that in mind, okay? Abundance means that you are happy in your life, doing what you are meant to do, and creating abundance for yourself. That does mean financial security, but it doesn't mean rich, okay? So let's keep that in mind. I actually even just saw a message about that. Where did I see that? I don't remember, but I literally just saw a message about that. Oh, it was Magenta Pixie saying that abundance does not mean wealth. And that is something that many people need to understand and shift their thinking on. But so anyway, so both sides, both the masculines are working on this so that they feel stable and secure when they're ready to come to their feminines. There's multiple capacities that could be. I'm going to run out of time here. This is a really long reading, Spirit. Jeez. This will definitely be the last video, the next one, and it's going to be the outcome, the last phase, and I'll finish this up as well. Okay, so where I was at, I was saying that for the masculines, they are working on building up their individual stability and the foundation in their lives and their security so that they feel good when they're ready to come forward to their feminine, so that they feel like they have something to offer and they have a solid foundation to build upon with their feminines. This can also be for some, it depends on each situation, of course, but this can also be for some that they are building up that financial security to be able to first get away from their karmic situations or karmic partners, or if they have to leave. Remember, I mentioned those businesses that are tied into the karmic partners' families as well. Sometimes it's dealing with that also. But yeah, so they're doing what they need to do to get away from those situations and then to be able to come forward to their feminines. But it's all about the focus on that. I could highlight each individual card here, but I don't want to take a lot of time up. But Knight of Pentacles, it's the focus on that stability and foundation. Page of Wands and Page of Pentacles both really talk about opportunities coming for any of you, both sides. Opportunities coming for growth and expansion in your lives and your life purpose paths, that's going to bring abundance. It even says on here, abundant harvest. So work, career, life purpose opportunities are going to come, whether it's in traditional structure or you are creating those opportunities for yourselves. Keep that in mind too. This can be springing from you. This doesn't have to be coming to you. This can be springing from you as well. So, because it even says here, free spirit. So you could be creating these opportunities for yourself, or these could be opportunities that are coming to you, or you seek them out and they align with you. Either way, like, keep that in mind. And let's also keep that in mind, because with manifestation, it doesn't just show up on your doorstep. You have to put in the work first. You have to make the effort to pursue looking for opportunities for yourself. And then by putting in that effort, you're showing the universe you're ready, and then spirit brings it in and aligns it. Okay. So these opportunities are coming to you, whether you're looking for them or you're creating them, and they are going to create the abundance and success that you need, that is meant for you, I should say, that is meant for you. And that is going to kick off events and new situations, and even, like, I don't want to say mini towers, because I don't mean it in a bad way, but change your life opportunities or occurrences that, let me flip that back around. Okay. Occurrences will happen. Events will occur that will change your life, that will get things moving, that will kick things into gear. Like, basically things will happen that force more action and push you guys forward and push you moving forward into these new directions. This can be in your individual paths. This could also be on your, like, back towards your twin. This could be other events that occur in your life that make things click together, make dots connect, that then get you moving forward towards your twin. Okay. What I do love about this Knight of Wands is that it also represents passion and that fire and desire. So it's like doing the stable work, doing the inner work, doing the inner healing, building up your material worlds, all of that stuff, doing shadow work as well, just doing all those things. That's going to bring about the opportunities for growth and abundance that are then going to kick things into gear to start moving forward towards your twin and start to kick up the passion and the Kundalini awakenings and the readiness to move forward. Okay. I have to note with the camel, notice how it says conserving energy as well. Remember, you are still persevering through this mountain climb. So continue to conserve your energy. And I don't know the right way to say this, but you know how the camel stores up their water so that they have access to it when they're going through the desert. And I use the desert example too. Funny, Spirit must have remembered that their camel was coming up. So store up your energy so that you can continue to tap into that and to continue to tap into your inner resources while you are, continuing to persevere, because you're not at the end of the journey yet. You guys are in that stage, but you're not at the end of the journey yet. And with the wolf, I'm also feeling drawn to say sometimes a warrior spirit is needed as well, because spiritual warfare is something that occurs to 50% of twin flames, because the dark is trying to stop twin flame unions. This is another reason why that whole fallacy about you're completely in control and there's no spiritual stuff controlling anything, that's not true. When there's spiritual warfare involved, there are significant spiritual factors that are affecting divine timing and controlling your journey. And sometimes you have to be a warrior and you have to defeat those things. And they're the only things that can block your journey. So be aware that that is called for sometimes as well. Okay, so lastly, I told you guys we're at the last stage, the happy ending. And for some of you, this is so close, you can taste it. Like exactly when it will come together, Spirit, I think, still surprises us because of all the little tiny details that Spirit pays attention to. But for some of you, it's so close you can taste it, and you just have to, you have like the little things left that Spirit is working. Sorry, I was not paying attention and I looked to the side. But yeah, Spirit is working you both through the final details of your final lessons, the last of the things you need to release and let go of, completely letting go of focusing on divine timing. All sorts of things, like the last little bits of letting go of self-worth wounds, or fully stepping into your strength and sovereignty. Like there's so many different ways. Maybe it's awakening a little bit more. Honestly, it depends on each person, but I have seen it playing out like this for people and for myself as well and my twin. So Spirit is working on the last little things. Don't worry about time. Spirit doesn't want you worrying about time. You have plenty of time. I'm not even going to go down that right now, but you have plenty of time. Stop focusing on time. You have plenty of time for whatever it is that you're worried about, all of it, including having kids. Don't worry, Divine Feminines. Spirit doesn't want you worrying about that. If you're meant to have kids, you'll have kids. It doesn't matter how old you are. Women are having children until they're 60, from what I have heard and seen and been told. So don't stress. Don't worry. You have plenty of time. Time is going to elongate as ascension continues to occur. Lifespans are going to elongate. Don't worry. That's the biggest thing for the feminines. And Spirit is going to stretch out that patience test. Spirit is going to make you access every depth of the faith wound and the faith tests and triggers, and pull all of that out of you. You know what you can expect? Before this comes together, I know I haven't explained these cards yet, but this is the happy ending. I'll explain the cards in a second. Before you get to the happy ending, Spirit is going to test you. Expect to be tested. I can tell you that I have had the best year of my twin flame journey, of being so surrendered and not being triggered or getting upset about things or worrying so much about timing. Has it been 100% gone? No. But it's only been like a little residual bit left. But I can tell you, I've definitely been tested. And there's been maybe 1 or 2 times that I failed. I think in the beginning of the year and once over the summer. But I was able to recognize it and then fix it and go within and heal and make the necessary adjustments or whatever. It's partially conscious, partially subconscious. But anyway, my point being that I have recognized the tests. So expect to be tested, okay? Because if you want to pass, then you need to be prepared for that, and you need to be learning your lessons and passing your tests. So trust that your Divine Masculine is going to take the leap of faith he is going to leave behind the karmic situations, whether it's work, karmic partners, relationships, whatever. They're going to leave behind what's not meant for them anymore, what's not bringing meaning into their lives, to take the leap of faith, to follow their hearts, to their true loves, to make the commitment, to make things right with you, to balance the scales, and to right the wrongs of the past, in order to bring in union with you, because you are who they love the most deep down. Like, you are their true eternal love. They know this. They recognize this. They want to spend the rest of their lives with you. They want to grow old with you, but they want to be kings and queens together, because they recognize the strength of the two of you together. And they're they're reaching that point where they're ready to bring this in. So trust it and believe in it, and you guys will get there, and you will be the leaders of Ascension.